Having a baby is an exciting time in a family's life, involving a lot of learning and preparing for baby's arrival. Once your baby arrives, a lot of your time together will be spent feeding your baby, breastfeeding. This is such a special experience and one of the best gifts parents can give their baby. Breastfeeding not only provides many health benefits for baby, but for mum too, helping to create a unique bond between you. It's also an important part in the life of many families, as exclusive breastfeeding is recommended for the first 6 months of baby's life, and in combination with other foods up to 2 years of age or beyond. Breastfeeding comes with many rewards and sometimes challenges, but these can be overcome with the right information and support. We spoke to Katie Hilton, a qualified midwife, to find out more about breastfeeding and the support mums can draw on to help them breastfeed for longer.
Lansinoh was started 30 years ago by a breastfeeding mum, Rashida Hagan, who was experiencing excruciating nipple soreness. LORRAINE recommended she try lanolin. Rashida felt immediate relief and went on to breastfeed successfully. Lanolin was not available in stores at the time, so Rashida started the company in 1984 to offer mums a safe alternative to other cosmetic products. Lansinoh passionately support breastfeeding mums and provide a range of products to provide the encouragement mums need to breastfeed successfully for longer. In addition to our well-known breastfeeding support product range, our portfolio also includes Mama, a range of stylish and practical toddler feeding products, and Earth Friendly Baby, a range of natural and organic baby care products. So breast milk is the only natural food designed for a baby. It offers all the nutrients required for the best start in life. It's a perfectly balanced combination of proteins, vitamins and minerals to encourage healthy development. It also contains enzymes and antibodies to help fight infection.
I exclusively breastfed until Oliver was 2 weeks before he was 6 months old.
Oh dear.
And then we introduced finger foods after that. Before Oliver was born, I decided I'd try and breastfeed, but we were very lucky and he latched straight away and fed constantly and was very happy on the breast.
Breast milk provides protection for babies against various illnesses and diseases, including a reduced risk of gastroenteritis, reduced risk of chest and ear infections, and it also contains long-term benefits as well, with a reduced risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes later in life. There are numerous benefits for a mother who's breastfeeding, including a reduced risk of ovarian and breast cancer, and it also naturally uses up to 500 calories a day to help mum get back in shape quicker. Breast milk is obviously free. It's all available whenever and wherever baby needs a feed. It's always at the right temperature and it creates a fantastic bond between mum and baby.
There's a few things. Obviously my sister breastfed hers up until over 13 months, and then I had this secondary school teacher who taught childcare, and she always said breast is best, and it always stuck in my head. It was just one of those things. I always wanted to breastfeed ever since the very beginning. It was something I've always wanted to do.
My sister, she found it really demanding and very difficult with more than one child. The first one, she had lots of issues and there wasn't the support there like there is today with midwives and things. But it does get easier, so if you can get through those early days, you know, it's so rewarding to do.
A breastfeeding mother doesn't need to follow a special diet. It is, however, important that they eat a healthy, balanced diet, so including a range of starchy foods, fresh fruit and vegetables, proteins and low-fat dairy. Caffeine should really be avoided whilst breastfeeding, and alcohol should be limited to 1 to 2 units once or twice per week. Breastfeeding mum can eat virtually any food in moderation, but it's important to avoid foods which cause an allergic reaction within your family.
The other thing we've had is she's got a cow's milk protein intolerance. So it only showed up because I don't actually eat much dairy anyway myself, and whenever I did have anything with dairy in, she'd be very sick all over me. So that was the only other problem that we've had, but as long as I cut out dairy then it's fine.
So it's important that mum and baby find a position that's comfortable for both of them. This will make the process of latching on much easier and enable the baby to breastfeed comfortably. And what was your position you used when you first started to feed baby?
First started, I used to have a sort of on the side.
Okay, so the rugby hold position?
Yeah. And then used to have my hand like this, supporting like that.
Okay, so cross cradle. So obviously for mums who are feeding at night or who've had a caesarean section, then the side lying position is most comfortable. Have you ever tried that position?
I have at night time, yes.
Yeah.
Much easier at night time.
Yeah, excellent. Rugby hold position, under the arm, most popular position for mums to use when babies are newborn, but obviously as they get a little bit older and push themselves off the sofa, the ideal is cross cradle or cradle.
The first few days were difficult, more with latching on the left side. She caused me a bit of pain. She was a bit of a lazy latch. She had a bit of a lazy latch on the left side, but with juggling around with positions, we soon sorted it out.
And obviously also mum will need to occasionally breastfeed when out and about. For mums who feel a little apprehensive, there's a range of accessories available to make them feel more at ease. There are also a range of breastfeeding friendly locations to make mum feel more comfortable. Our breast care range includes disposable nursing pads, the Lansinoh 3-in-1 TheraPearl hot and cold therapy, the Lansinoh Latch Assist, and of course the product that most mums consider a lifesaver, the Lansinoh HPA Lanolin nipple cream. Many mothers report nipples to be sore and tender when they first start to breastfeed. This is quite a common challenge that mums face, with an estimated 80 to 95% of mums experiencing some degree of nipple soreness, 26% of which will progress to cracking and extreme nipple pain. Sore and cracked nipples is most often associated with poor positioning and attachment at the breast, whereby the baby doesn't latch on correctly. This is key in establishing breastfeeding. If you're a mum that's struggling with sore and cracked nipples, it's important to access the support and advice of your midwife or health visitor.
I used the Lansinoh nipple cream, yeah, so I applied that before every feed and after. And it was brilliant. I had about 3 and 1 in each bag and 1 in each room of the house.
I've used the nipple cream, and obviously you can keep it on while feeding, which I found fantastic when I had cracked nipples and just bleeding slightly, and it really helped and cleared that up. It was brilliant. It's
normal for your breasts to become larger, heavier and a little tender when you first begin to make milk. Occasionally this fullness can lead on to engorgement, when the breasts feel very hard and painful. So if engorgement occurs, it's important to breastfeed often on the affected side to prevent the breast from becoming overly full. If the breast is very full and the nipple flattened, then hand express or pump a little milk to soften the breast and nipple. You can also use the Lansinoh Latch Assist to help avert a flattened nipple as well. Use cold compression, such as the 3-in-1 TheraPearl breast therapy, between feeds to ease pain, and obviously also ensure you get plenty of rest and wear a well-fitting supportive bra.
Engorgement as well in the first few days, but that was only on the right side. The left side was absolutely fine, no problems, but I ended up having to hand express it using hot water, and then he was slowly able to latch on, but I think for about 2 weeks I had to hand express to able him to latch on.
Prepare my body, not so much, but prepare my mind definitely. I read an awful lot. I was determined that nothing was going to stand in my way. So if I needed an emergency section, I knew what would happen after a section and how I would need to feed. I just read up on every eventuality, everything that could happen, mastitis, thrush.
In the earlier days it was quite painful. I learned in my antenatal classes that this quite often meant that there was a problem. Unfortunately, it was never suggested that there wasn't a problem if it was painful. So I attended Sure Start breastfeeding support groups, and my health visitor regularly checked Oliver's latch, and he said everything was fine. So after the initial kind of toe curling 20-30 seconds, that passed, and when he was 3 to 4 weeks old, it went completely. Just seeing how happy Oliver was when he was feeding, I think that was enough to kind of get me through it.
She had quite a poor latch, so quite a shallow latch. I was quite lucky in that she didn't actually cause me much pain, but could tell that her latch wasn't quite right, and mostly that she just wasn't gaining weight.
Modern mums might not find it possible to feed exclusively at the breast for a full 6 months. They might need to go back to work, or they might have social commitments or other challenges within their family which might keep them temporarily apart from their baby and disrupt their feeding routine. The infant feeding survey, which was carried out by the NHS Information Centre in 2010, highlighted that 63% of mothers who stopped breastfeeding would have liked to have breastfed for longer. As part of our commitment to help mums to breastfeed for longer, we have developed an integrated solution to help mums to pump, store and feed their breast milk so that baby can enjoy the benefits when mum is away.
Join us after the break for more on how to prepare for your baby's arrival.
For over 30 years, Lansinoh has been passionately helping mums achieve their breastfeeding goals with scientifically researched and clinically proven products. Our range includes award-winning and market-leading breast care products like HPA Lanolin and our new research-based pump store feed solution that helps mum and baby enjoy all the benefits of breastfeeding for longer. Our innovative breast pumps and natural wave bottle and teat are available at Mothercare. Lansinoh, helping mums breastfeed longer.
Welcome back. Babies need to be fed whenever they get hungry, day and night, and sometimes that can be difficult to schedule and accomplish, especially if you have to go back to work or have other commitments which you can't postpone. Many families will want to continue feeding their baby breast milk to ensure baby enjoys its benefits for as long as possible. To help with that, you can use a breast pump to express, so that there is always breast milk on hand when baby needs a feed.
A newborn baby will feed approximately 8 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. So if baby's unable to come to mum's breast for any reason, then it's important for her to start expressing and pumping to stimulate her milk supply as early as possible. So in choosing a pump, it's important for mums to consider how often they intend to express, whether they intend to express occasionally or on a more regular basis.
I used a single electric pump to begin with, which worked great for us. But recently I've tried a Lansinoh double electric pump, which again is really comfortable, and we find we get plenty of milk out with that for you, don't we?
I used a single electric pump back then. This time around I've got a double one, and it's fantastic, way better.
So if the plan is to express on a regular basis, then an electric pump is ideal. Mums can choose between a single or a double electric pump, and Lansinoh offers both. Lansinoh's 2-in-1 electric breast pump enables mums to express from both breasts at once, making expressing breast milk much quicker. It's very easy to assemble, and it offers the option to be used as either a single or a double pump. So to turn the pump on, we're going to press the button just at the front. It will initially default into letdown mode. This is to encourage milk flow. After 2 minutes, the pump will go over into expression phase to maximise milk flow. Within expression, there are 3 different styles of pumping dependent on the mum's wishes. Each of the 3 pumping styles can be further tailored for comfort by adjusting the suction level to suit individual needs and maximise milk production. Every woman is different, so it's important to choose a pump which offers a high level of customisation so that mums can choose or find a setting that they're comfortable with. The breast cushion is also very important in making the pumping experience more comfortable and efficient. Our pump comes with a comfort fit breast cushion which offers a soft and secure fit to facilitate a good suction and ultimately a smooth pumping experience. It's easy to assemble and clean. The pump has a hygienic design which guarantees against milk entering the tubing, which means that there's no need to clean the tubing. Gwen, do you enjoy being a big sister? Yeah. And is Callie a good girl, or does she wake you up at night?
She wakes me up at night.
Does she? Well, that won't last too long. And what about feeding? How does your mummy feed Callie? She feeds her like that, does she?
Gwen helps out. She goes and gets my feeding cushion, goes and picks up muslins if I need them, things like that.
And what was your reasons for involving her in the feeding routine?
Well, I spend an awful lot of time sat on the sofa feeding.
Yeah.
And I didn't want her to feel left out, so it's nice to have her have something to do so she's not just sort of pushed out while I'm feeding Callie.
So for storage, mums can use either the bottle that they've expressed into, which is convenient, and this avoids having to transfer the breast milk from one container to another. This is probably the option best suited for mums who express occasionally. Mums can also use breast milk storage bags, which can be stored horizontally. They take less space in the freezer.
If Oliver's going to have his milk within the next couple of days, I'll just pop his express milk in the fridge. If not, then I'll pop it in some freezer bags and freeze it.
To thaw, you should store the breast milk in the refrigerator overnight or run it under warm running water.
If I think I'm going to use it quite soon, I'll leave it in the fridge, but otherwise I'll keep a bit of a stash in the freezer if I want to go out or have a bit of a break so my husband can feed her.
There are several options mums can choose from to feed express breast milk. Most common way is via a bottle. It's recommended to get breastfeeding fully established before introducing a bottle. Let baby get used to the breast, obviously, before introducing any changes. It's also good to discuss your options with your health visitor, midwife or breastfeeding counsellor. Obviously, they're best placed to advise when's the best time to introduce a bottle, depending on your particular situation. So Natalie, it's important to be knowledgeable in the best way to feed your baby with a bottle and feed your express breast milk. Current style of bottle feeding is associated with an increased risk of overfeeding and colic. Health professionals now advocate a technique known as paced responsive feeding. This is a really simple technique, and the key benefit is obviously that feeding at the pace which is set by the baby according to his or her needs. So ideally, Natalie, baby should be tucked in close, ideally skin to skin with whoever's feeding baby. Bottle should be held horizontally, obviously stimulating just above the lip to allow the baby to latch on, same as they would at the breast. So it's important to allow the baby to pace the feed and to recognise their cues as well. So you recognise when they're hungry or when they're full and they've had enough. There's numerous benefits associated with this style of feeding, including a reduced risk of overfeeding, and obviously creates a close bond with mum and enables you to go back to breast. And there's obviously reduction in colic-like symptoms as well. New to the Lansinoh breastfeeding support range is the natural wave teat. This allows baby to enjoy mum's precious breast milk while she's away due to either work or social commitments. It's important for mums to know that obviously that their baby will go back to the breast when they return. So choosing the right feeding bottle to avoid nipple confusion is essential. The natural wave teat is designed to help maintain established breastfeeding patterns so that mums can switch between breast and bottle with ease and confidence. Baby's mouth structure is different to an adult's, and because of this, the way that babies suck is also different. Extensive research showed that the sucking style of babies involves 3 steps. So latching on, peristaltic tongue movement, which is when the baby's tongue moves in a smooth wave-like motion to compress the nipple and extract milk. It's very important for baby to be able to perform this tongue movement, as this encourages natural oral and jaw development. And finally, swallowing. A good teat should facilitate this natural sucking style, and the natural wave teat has been developed to promote this. When choosing a teat, mums should look out for several characteristics which will help them identify the right teat to ensure that baby goes back to the breast without problems. First of all, the shape of the teat. Look out for a gradual slope design, like the one of the natural wave teat, which encourages a wider latch on, similar to the baby's natural latch at the breast. Along with the teat shape, its material is also important, as they both influence the baby's ability to move his or her tongue in a natural way when sucking, which obviously impacts oral development. Another feature that many mums will look for is anti-colic. Professional opinions are divided when it comes to the existence of colic, but one of the potential causes is air intake. So unless the bottle and teat have a good air ventilation, baby is very likely to swallow air, which can lead to fussing and crying. Natural wave teat features an air ventilation system at the base of the teat to facilitate flow for a comfortable feed. I've expressed daily, so Daddy can give Oliver a bottle. I think it's important that daddies get to experience that bond as well with baby.
When my husband's home, I express so he can feed him at night.
I think he felt a bit left out at the beginning. I think that's definitely one of the downsides to exclusively breastfeeding. But then we decided that I'd express so he could give Oliver a bottle. And Oliver took the bottle fine, and my partner loved loved giving him a bottle.
So many mums who are breastfeeding will often ask, how do I know my baby's breastfeeding well and getting enough? So one of the key indicators is weight gain. So if baby's gaining good weight, then baby's breastfeeding well and baby's getting enough breast milk. It's important obviously to have baby weighed often, so once a week for about the first 8 weeks, once a month after that up to about 6 months of age. Other signs of an effective breastfeed include 6 to 8 heavy wet nappies in a 24-hour period, at least 2 dirty nappies within a 24-hour period. We want baby to be active, alert, good tone, generally happy and good skin colour. And obviously we want to know that mum's breasts and nipples are comfortable.
In the earlier days I would get anything between 2 and 6, 7, 8 ounces. But these days between 1 and 2 is more than enough for Oliver these days.
My midwife was great. So when she came to do a 5-day check, we sort of went through things as well. And from then on really we had quite a good experience.
I guess it was more mentally preparing than anything else. I knew from my first daughter that the first 6 weeks were going to be really, really tough, and particularly the first week or so. So it's more sort of mental preparation. So when she was feeding all night and constantly wanting to feed, I knew there was a purpose to it and that it would pass and it would get easier. And by sort of 6 weeks, it would be far easier than any other option.
For me, breastfeeding was never a choice. I was having a baby, I needed to feed her, and that's what your breasts are for, to feed your child, and it wasn't a conscious decision, so that's why.
She absolutely loves being a big sister. Yeah, she's actually got a little doll that we gave her when Callie was born, and she likes to feed her and bath her and dress her and things like that, which is very, very sweet.
Whatever I've had him thrush and all stuff like that, whatever's happened, it's definitely been the best thing I've ever done for him.
And at least I know now that those complications at the beginning, those difficulties, they don't last.
Absolutely, I'd breastfeed again. Yeah, really good experience overall, and yeah, wouldn't choose anything else.
Yes, I love breastfeeding.
For me, it's just been a fantastic experience, and I actually don't want it to end.
No, I don't want to give up.
I'd definitely say that's the best part of breastfeeding, is that you know, I get to share that time with Oliver, and especially at the beginning, especially at the beginning when he was feeding for 12, 14, 16 hours a day. I got to spend all that time having a cuddle, really, and that's how it...
But don't compare yourself to other mums. No two babies are the same. Trust your instincts. Your mum, you know what's best for your baby. Stay calm. Don't forget about your partner. Try to involve your partner as much as possible. And above all, enjoy the experience of breastfeeding.
We hope you've learnt a little more to help you prepare for your baby's arrival, and that your excitement is growing. Don't hesitate to seek out the support of your midwife or health visitor whenever you need advice throughout your breastfeeding journey.